Good morning, students. Today I am going to discuss part 4 of chapter 2. The name of the chapter is Biological Classification from your class 11 biology syllabus. Already we have completed part 1, 2 and 3 portion of this chapter, and from these 3 videos we came to know about the biological classification, what is the basis of classification, 5 kingdom system, description of kingdom Monera, Protista and fungi. So in our today's class we'll discuss about the plant kingdom, animal kingdom and virus. So let's start the today's class. The first slide contains the kingdom Plantae. So already we have discussed this thing in our chapter 3. So before starting the kingdom Plantae, first of all you should know what is plants. So in our environment there are two living things are there, plants and animals. Okay. So what is the basic meaning of the plants? That the plants are the multicellular photosynthetic eukaryotic organisms, and they are non-photosynthetic relatives which possesses absorptive nutrition, cell walls and plastids but lack muscular, nervous and excretory systems. So they are included under kingdom Plantae or Metaphyta. So kingdom Plantae actually includes all the eukaryotic chlorophyll containing organisms which is commonly called the plants. Okay, I am repeating again, what is the meaning of the kingdom Plantae? That kingdom Plantae includes all eukaryotic chlorophyll containing organisms which is commonly called the plants. So a few members are partially heterotrophic, such as some insectivore plants or parasites. The plant cell have an eukaryotic structure with prominent chloroplast and cell wall mainly made up of cellulose. So Plantae includes algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and the angiosperms. So next you should know some characteristics of the plants. So what is the occurrence of the plants? So normally the kingdom includes both land and aquatic plants, and algae are primarily aquatic. Bryophytes and pteridophytes are amphibious land plant. Gymnosperm and angiosperm are true terrestrial plants. So some of these plants have migrated back to water. So these are called the aquatic plant, like the Azolla, Salvinia, Marsilia, Nilambo. Okay. Next thing is the multicellular organism. The plant is the multicellular organism. So members of the kingdom are actually multicellular in nature. So however, unicellular and colonial members of green and red algae have been included under the kingdom Plantae. So next thing is that it varies from the microscopic organism. So the smallest plant, I am writing here, smallest plant is the Ulfia, and the largest plant is eucalyptus. Please remember these two things. Okay. Next thing is the photosynthesis. So this photosynthesis is the basic characteristics of the kingdom Plantae. So members of the kingdom Plantae perform the photosynthesis, and all producers of land, all the organisms, all the producers of land are actually plants. So in why it's called actually the producer? Because they can make their own food. So in water also, members of this kingdom are important producers. Especially in shallow waters, a few plants are heterotrophic, either saprotrophic or parasitic. So insectivorous plants are photosynthetic plants which augment their nitrogen diet by the catching and digesting small animals. And it has cell wall for their protection. It has cell wall for their protection, and it's surrounded, the cells actually surrounded by the cell wall, and it contains the main product of the cell wall is the cellulose. Next thing is the plastid and some cell organelles. Some specific cell organelles are actually present in the plant's body which is absent in the animal's body, that they are present in all members. The photosynthetic plastids possess photosynthetic pigments. Such plastids are called the chloroplast in green algae and embryophytes, and the pheoplast in brown algae and rhodoplast in red algae. The term chromatophores is also used for the pheoplast and the rhodoplast. Next thing is the growth. It's commonly indefinite. Okay. So next thing is the classification of the kingdom Plantae. So actually kingdom Plantae is actually classified by the 4 types. Okay. First one is the bryophyte, pteridophyte, angiosperm and the gymnosperm. So already we have discussed all those things in our chapter 3, because one chapter is there, the kingdom Plantae. So I am giving just the overview. What is the meaning of bryophyte? That bryophyte is actually the first plant to colonize the land. So they have a special character. The special characteristics is they can live both water and land. So that's why it's called the amphibia of the, that's why this is called the amphibia of plant. Okay. Next thing is the occurrence. What is the occurrence? That the bryophytes occur in moist and shady places, especially during rain or damp soils. Okay. Example, what is the example of the bryophytes? The example of the bryophyte, the several types of the organism is also there, several types of the plants is also there, like the Marsantia is also belongs to the bryophyte. Next thing is the pteridophyte. The pteridophyte is the fast living terrestrial plant. Fern is the main example of the pteridophyte. And next thing is the gymnosperm. What is the main the characteristics of the gymnosperm? The main characteristics of the gymnosperm, that it has the cone in the organism's body. And the last one is the angiosperm. This angiosperm is the true plant in the terrestrial environment, and there are so many types of the angiospermic plant present in our environment, like the mango tree, jackfruit tree, all those things. And there are 2 types of the angiospermic plants are there, like the monocot and the dicot. Next thing is the kingdom Animalia. Okay. So already we have completed kingdom Plantae. So next thing is the kingdom Animalia. So this thing also we have discussed in our chapter 4. So this kingdom Animalia or animal kingdom is actually the kingdom of consumer organism. Kingdom of the consumer organism having ingestive type of the nutrition. So it is the largest kingdom with over 1.2 million members. 1.2 million members. So it has numerous, having different types of form, structure, organization, complexity and development. The important groups represented by the kingdom are protozoans, sponges, Cnidaria, worms, annelids, arthropods, mollusks, starfishes, fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals. So what is the characteristics of the kingdom Animalia? That the first thing is these are normally the multicellular organism. The kingdom Animalia is normally the multicellular organism, and it has the eukaryotic cell. Actually it has the eukaryotic cells. Cells are eukaryotic with double envelope system. Cell wall is absent. Consumer animals are ecologically consumers. Nutrition, members of animal kingdom are the heterotrophs in nature, and organs, they are present and are usually internal. And they have special type of the muscular system, nervous system, cell vacuoles, centrosomes, digestion, egestion, asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction, haploid stage, and the embryo stage also. So this is the basic things of the kingdom Animalia. So this kingdom is characterized by the heterotrophic eukaryotic organization that are multicellular, and they lack cell walls. They have, why? Because they have cell membrane. They have cell membrane. So they directly or indirectly dependent on plants for food, and they digest their food in an internal cavity and store food reserves as glycogen or fat. Most of them are capable of locomotion. Most of the organisms, the animal organism, is actually capable of the locomotion. Normally animal world is classified into two types, the vertebrate and the invertebrates. Okay, so within the invertebrates there are several phylum is there. The first one is the Porifera, then Nidaria, then Ctenophora, then Platyhelminthes, then Astellhelminthes, then Annelida, then Arthropoda, then Molax, and the Echinodermata. The last one is the vertebrate. Within the vertebrates there are several organisms are also there, several phylum, several classes are also there. The first one is the fishes, second one is the amphibia, third one is the reptiles, fourth one is the aves, and the last one is the mammals. So normally the kingdom Animalia is a heterotrophic and eukaryotic organism. So why it's called the heterotrophic organism? Because they can not make their own food, and for that reason they are dependent on the plants. Okay, so that's why plant is called the autotrophic and the animal is called the heterotrophic. Okay, so it has different kinds of the levels or grade of organization. Like animals have 5 type of the structural organization, like the acellular level, cellular level, tissue level, organ system level. Okay, it has the body plan. Okay, they have the body symmetry, different types of the body symmetry, like asymmetric organisms, like the bilateral symmetry, radial symmetry, all those things are there. Okay, so next is the virus and the viroids. Okay, so this is very important thing, that the virus and the viroids. So what is the meaning of the virus? So normally this virus is actually the ultra microscopic nucleoprotein entity. I am writing here ultra microscopic nucleoprotein entity. Okay, so which becomes active only inside a living cell using the latter's machinery for the multiplication through separate synthesis of its part. So in the 5 kingdom classification of Whittaker, there is no mention of some cellular organizations like viruses and the viroids. So the viruses are non-cellular organisms that are characterized by having an inert crystalline structure outside the living cell. So once they infect a cell, they take over the machinery of the host cell to replicate themselves. Okay, so that's why actually the first it's actually discovered scientist Mayer in the year of 1886 studying the tobacco mosaic disease which could pass through the bacterial filters. So virus is actually the obligate parasite. So it cannot be grown on artificial culture medium. Living cells are actually essential. Virus is inert inside host cell. So the inert particles of the virus outside its host, it's called the virion. So you have to remember all those terms. I am again telling that the inert particles of the virus outside its host is called the virion. So on the basis of the host, a virus is called the Jufus. What is the meaning of the Jufus? Jufus means the animal virus. Phytophus. What is the meaning of the Phytophus? It means the plant virus. Next is the Bacteriophus. Bacteriophus means the bacterial virus. Okay, mycophos, fungal virus, phycophos, algal virus, cyanophos, broken algae virus. Okay, so next thing is the virus. Actually the volume of the virus ranges from 10 to the power minus 6 to 10 to the power minus 3 μm. These things are actually viruses of three types: the helical, cuboidal and the binal. Helical is the cylindrical elongated, cuboidal is the rounded or polyhedral, and binal is the cuboidal head and helical tail. Okay, so this is the basic things. So next thing is once actually they infect a cell, they take over the machinery of the host cell to replicate themselves, killing the host. The name virus, that means venom or poisonous fluid, was given by Pasteur D.L. Levinsky in the year of the 1892. Viruses also contain genetic material that could be either RNA or DNA. No virus contains both RNA and DNA. Okay, normally the genetic material of the virus is the RNA. Normally the genetic material of the virus is RNA. Okay, so a virus is a nucleoprotein and the genetic material is the infectious. So viruses causes disease like mumps, smallpox, herpes and influenza. AIDS in humans is also caused by a virus, and in plants the symptoms can be mosaic formation, leaf rolling and curling, yellowing and vein clearing, dwarfing and stunted growth. Okay, so next thing is the HIV virus. So HIV virus is actually the very infectious virus in the viral world. So what is the full form of the HIV? The human immunodeficiency virus. So it surrounded the retrovirus of about 100 nanometer in diameter. So the surface is covered by the host derived envelope which bears spikes which are protein component complementary to CD4 or T4 antigen receptor present on the surface of the helper T cell, monocyte, macrophages, etc. Okay, so this is the basic thing. Next thing is the viroids. Next thing is the viroids. So what is the meaning of it? That they are single stranded naked RNA particle. I am writing here, they are single stranded naked RNA particle that cause disease in the plants. Okay, I am repeating again, they are single stranded naked RNA particle that cause disease in the plants. So viroids are the smallest infectious agent. You have to remember, this is the smallest infectious agent. The first virus, actually this first viroid caused disease studied was potato spindle tuber disease, and it was discovered by Martin in the year of 1922. So this thing, the transmissible infectious naked RNA entity, was called viroid by the Diner. So in the year of 1971, T.O. Diner discovered a new infectious agent that was smaller than viruses and caused potato spindle tuber disease. It was found to be a free RNA and it lacked the protein coat that is found in viruses. So hence this is named as viroid. The RNA of the viroid was of the low molecular weight. Okay. So a viroid can multiply by two methods, that the DNA dependent and RNA dependent. So this is the picture of the bacteriophage. This is the picture of the bacteriophage. It has specific head, neck, collar, seed, tail, base plate, DNA. Okay, DNA is the genetic material. Okay, so now you can ask me, ma'am, what is the basic difference between the viruses and viroids? So normally viruses actually are larger than viroids and viroids are smaller than viruses. Viruses, they have a protein coat. Viruses, they lack protein coat. Viruses, actually the genome of the viruses, the DNA and RNA, and viruses, they are RNA particles. And viruses, their RNA has relatively high molecular weight, and viruses, their RNA has low molecular weight. So they parasitize all types of organism, and viroids parasitize only the plants. They cannot infect the animal's body. So this is your today's class, and with this slide, with this video, actually the chapter is completed. Okay, so after completing this chapter, I will start to discuss chapter 4, the animal kingdom. Okay, animal kingdom. So okay, till then goodbye. If any problems are there, just contact with me immediately, and thank you. Bye.